Welcome everybody, Farm Sim Snowy here. In this video we're going to look at a new mod map released for Farming Simulator 19. So this is Agrar TSZ by Zoli708. It's 103.2 megabytes to download, and the description on the mod hub says, welcome to the Agrar TSZ map. What the map offers: 29 fields, 17 meadows, mission system, 6 sell point, animal stables, sheep, pigs, cows, BGA, seasons ready, sleep trigger and pine forest. I'm in new farmer mode, like I do all my map tours. If we click on the map, this is the map, all pretty square rectangular fields. In new farmer mode we start off with this area here, which is where all your equipment is and sort of your main farm. Everything's here, your sleep trigger, there's the shop triggers there. We've got a couple of sort of refill stations which I'll go through in a second. This area here's your meadow that you start off with, and you start off with field 2 up here, and then we start off with the sheep pen. Now obviously if you wanted to buy these separately, if you're in the other two modes, the farm manager will start from scratch. Your farm area is going to be 98,784 to buy. The meadows 164,000. The sheep pens just over 51,000, and field 2's just over 124,000. Field prices are a little bit expensive for what you get. So 21's 336. Field 20 doesn't look too big, that's 201,000. Then if we go over to say 17, that's a whopping 1.4 million. The BGA you obviously have to buy to use. That's only 43,512, which is pretty good. You can buy the outside of the map for 0, and you've got these little sections here that show up that you could buy as well, which are pretty cheap. Not quite sure what's on all of them, whether there's a few trees. Talking of trees, the whole map is covered in trees. Pretty much every sort of sale point, animal pen is surrounded by trees, and some of them are the horrible trees that sometimes you have trouble trying to cut them down, and if you do cut them down and sell them, you don't get a lot of money for them. But you have got a proper forestry area just down the bottom here, which you can buy in chunks if you wish. So that's 155,000, that section. Smaller section there for 58. I think this is the biggest bit, yeah, for 878. There's a little area there for 45,000. The cow farm or pasture, whatever you want to call it, is only 43,200. There's a little field, grass field there next to it, that's only 45,000. Again, we'll look at all these properly in a second. The pigs, again, is dirt cheap, 25,848. And I think that is it for a second. So we start off here, like I say, we're in new farmer mode. So we come into our main farm area. I'll go through the equipment in a second and the slot counts. You've got a fuel point just there. You've got a rather massive water tower so you can get your water from. Your equipment's all dotted around the areas. And quite a nice touch over here. This tank there is liquid fertilizer and herbicide refill point. This is solid fertilizer refill point. Oh, and lime, sorry. And this is your seed refill point, which again is quite a nice touch. Just down here we've got your workshop trigger, so you can sell, customize and repair. And it does work if you place a vehicle across this trench or pit all the way along there, it will still activate the trigger, which is pretty cool. Your sleep trigger, weirdly enough, I suppose it's quite quirky, is this sofa. So if we put my help menu on and we come up to it, there you go, sleep, we're not tired. That cannot be sold or removed, so you're stuck with that, which is a shame. So you're not going to be able to place another farmhouse down or a sleep mat or anything like that. Just outside we've got the shop trigger, which is just there, like so, where you can buy all your equipment. If you buy anything, lease anything, or your reset point, it's just here at your main farm. You've got quite a nice big areas for storage, for more equipment, places to probably store loose grains there. You don't actually start off with any silo at all, but this area is quite big, it's quite flat. You should be able to place one in here somewhere if you wish. We've got a little racking system there with a few bits and bobs. That's all attachments for a telehandler. You start off with a telehandler here, which is quite cool. You don't get that very often on the maps. So let's have a look at our starting equipment. First of all, on all three modes you start off with all this same equipment, and the slot count is 410 out of 1299. If you sell everything, all of these off, you can get that slot count down to 234, which is pretty low. It's pretty low to start with, 410. You do get some nice equipment to start with. In the other two modes, farm manager and start from scratch, obviously you don't start off with any land or the sheep pen, but you do still have all this starting equipment. So we start off with a Case Puma 185 CVX, a Fendt 716 Vario, a John Deere 6135M, Massey Ferguson Activa harvester, the Massey Ferguson telehandler, which I mentioned, two Agroliner trailers which you can connect up together, daisy chain or road train if you want to call it that, header for your harvester, a cultivator, a seeder, spraying equipment with an additional tank, a fertilizer spreader, a side mower, a windrower, a baler. It's not a bale wrapper, it's just a standard baler, your attachments for your telehandler, a header trailer and a weight. So not bad equipment to start with. I'm going to jump in the John Deere and we're going to go out the bottom here and we'll go to the cow pen first, because the little tracks, they don't all sort of link up together. It's a bit of a nightmare trying to get to certain places. You've either got to cut across fields or go round and come back on yourselves. But you can see what I mean about the trees already. That's going to annoy some people from the off. I'm trying to stay out of cab so you can see a bit of the map as we go round. And you can see, like I say, they're the sort of horrible, not straight trees, these ones here. You know, if you can cut them down, you don't get a lot of money off of them. So we're just coming around to the cow pasture. You've got this nice little grass field opposite. So if we just jump out. On the cow pasture and the sheep pasture, there's actually no sort of gate or no cattle grid. So if you're an ultra realistic player, you're not going to like that, because there's nothing to keep your animals in. Obviously they're not going to wander out because that's the way the game's designed. Your dialogue box is going to be just here though. So like so, these will hold 80 cows. You've got your milk point there, your water trough there, and you've got quite a sort of deep pond here, and you can, I tested it earlier, fill up your water trailer from there. So you could just do that and then top up your trough, which is quite handy. Your straw point is here. These bells are just for show. There's a few in the other two animal pens. You can knock them over. I crashed into these two because my driving's terrible sometimes when I was filling up the straw pit, but you can't use them, so it is a bit of a shame. Your manure is going to spawn here, and your feed trough is just here for the cows. And your slurry tank's over here, which is quite cool because it's sunk into the ground. Nice rusty old tank. And then just outside here we've got quite a big bunker silo, which is quite handy as well, especially with this grass field there. And like I say, it's not too expensive to buy that. If we just come and have a look again, just over 43,000 for the cow pasture, and the grass field next door just over 45. So we'll swing back around out of there. And although the fields are all pretty sort of square and rectangular, they're not, you know, it's not a flat map at all by any means. There's a few slopes and bumps and whatnot as we go round. So if we head straight up here, I think it should take us to the pig enclosure. Again, you can see the trees here that I'm on about. Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad a map. I did notice on Mod Hub that it hasn't got a very good star rating, so I presume a few people don't like it already. But you know, to please everyone. So just, oh, there you go, that's my bad driving. It's because of the trees. Like I say, I'm trying to stay out of cab for you. But right, the pigs, this one does have a gate, which is quite handy. You can open it, and your trigger is going to be just there at the gate. This will hold 100 pigs. There is a small sort of water area there, but I couldn't get the water. I think it's too shallow. I couldn't fill up from there. Your straw point's just through there, and then you've got your feed trough and your water trough there. Your slurry tank again is like the cows, it's just there, and the manure spawns just here, like so. Now we're going to jump back in the John Deere. So what we did is we come out of our main farm, we went through that barrier along there, down and through here into the cow pasture. We came back up there all the way up to the top. We're now at the pig pen. We will go across here to our sheep pasture, which you do start off with in new farmer mode. So can I cut through there without crashing? Let's come down a bit lower, that's better. I think this, it doesn't actually say on the mod hub, but I think it's based in Hungary, because in a minute when we get to the BGA, one of the tanks does say Hungarian something or other on it. I'll show you in a sec. This is your meadow that you start off with, quite long. And I was meant to show you field 2, which is just over here. So this is field 2, like so, already with a crop in it. And then your sheep pasture's just here. And I'm not sure I've already said, but the animal pens and pastures, they can't be sold, so they're in game. But they're quite cool and quirky. They're sort of specific to this map. They're not just a building or a pen that's just been placed down. Again, your trigger's just there where you can buy your sheep from. This will hold 160. And again, there's no gate or cattle grid there. You just come in there. You've got your feed trough just there, your water trough there, and your wall pallets spawn on this trailer here, which again is quite a quirky little touch. So I think we will, like I say, with the tracks, it's a little bit awkward, because when you get from this cow pasture, you can't come down here into this road, you can't go that way. It's either up there, which we came from, or you can come up through this way. And again, to get to the BGA, we've now got to go all the way around there and down. This track stops there, I don't know why. And then to get to Agrar farm, you've either got to come up like from the cow pasture or come in both ways off of this sort of main track. So the tracks are a little bit hit and miss in my eyes. So we'll go to the BGA and we're going to cut across this field here to this sell point, because that is going to be quicker for us. So we'll swing back round. Try and get the camera angle right. So to our right is our field, number 2. I could just cut across that field, but I'm not going to. I'll take the proper tracks where I can, just so you can see some of it. Alright, so if we turn down here, we're going to be at the BGA. which again, like I said at the start, is fairly cheap. I think I said it was only 43,000. So if we jump out, you've got two quite big bunker silos there, and your digester tip in there is just there. Just take your standard crops, it won't do potatoes or sugar beet. Digestate tanks there to fill up, and like I say, there's the you got that Hungarian biogas plant. You know, I just thought, why would you have that if it's not based in Hungary? Now what we will do, like I said, is be naughty and cut across the field, and just over in the distance there is going to be our first of our main sell points, which is Agrar Farm. So just here is where you'll come up to sell. So we come out the biogas plant, cheated and went across the field. So Agrar Farm, there you can see it's one of your main sale points. Does all your standard cereal crops. It will also do potato, sugar beet and sugar cane. I think that's it, yeah, for that one. Now it says on the description on the mod hub 6 sell points. There's only 4 on this screen. Obviously if you buy the BGA, that's going to be added on there, so that would be 1. But I'm thinking let the other 2 are, well, not necessarily hidden, because if we jump out, this is the first of 2 sawmills. So you've got your lumber point there to sell. If I turn my help menu on, there you go, sell wood. But obviously it doesn't actually show up on there, and it doesn't show up on the map. So we're right there. I don't think there's anywhere to sell wood chips at these sawmills, but there is a sell point that takes wood chips, which we'll come across in a second. And there's plenty of shed space here if you wanted to store any equipment here. If we take this track, and then we'll come out to that sort of main road that I showed you on the map earlier, and there should be, I think it's 2 more sell points, the animal dealer, and I think the second of the sawmills, all in one lump. Yeah, so that's all just in front of us there. Like I say, everything is pretty much enclosed with trees. So, but the thing is, it's not too dark. I've played on some maps, especially the UK ones, and they're quite when they got the trees there, it's quite dark going through some of the roads and some of the lanes. Anyway, again, lumber sale point, I think you've got to tip it on this sort of rack system there, and then just here is your animal dealer for your pens. That there is, I think that one is, yeah, Sensky Botond and Companions. Again, Senski sounds a bit Hungarian, Polish sort of thing. So that's a sale point, and then just next door you've got the other one, which is the sale station. So the Senski sale point is another main sale point, which does potato, sugar beet, doesn't do sugar cane, I think that's it. And your sale station next door covers the sort of other ones that the others don't, if you know what I mean. So that would take your cotton, eggs, wool, milk, wood chips, and then like a bale or barn sale point where you can sell your silage, grass, hay and straw. I presume loose and in bales, like so. And again, this looks like a dead end. I haven't actually gone up this far, but we will come down. So we came from Agrar Farm across and out. We'll come down this area to the mill, which is another sale point. While we're here though, this is the edge of the map, which is a little bit odd, because, well, you can actually, I think, get up there like so and like so. So where we are on the map, that is actually the area that you can buy for zero, nothing. So I'm wondering if you had an area, let's quickly go into landscaping because that's a lot easier, and we're right over at our farm. We would be, we are up here somewhere, aren't we? Yeah. So let's say for instance you own this meadow here. I'm guessing there's nothing stopping you from clearing all these trees. I mean, it's going to cost you a fair bit of money, but if you had this area which you can buy for zero, lowering all that down, and you could make this field bigger. Just a thought, an idea that I had. Probably a stupid idea, but anyway, let's come out of here and we'll head down to the mill. I think this main road here is not too bad for the trees, so I could probably zoom out a little bit for you. Yeah, it's quite a wide main road. Again, the track goes off there to the left. You've got a sort of random area here, which is like full of old derelict buildings, and just quickly run in and show you. You know, you could use that as sort of storage. You could use it as a, I don't know, a story in your little Let's Plays. Abandoned area, an old farm maybe. That is, how much would that be to buy? 38,904 if you wanted to buy that and do something with it. So we'll head on down to the mill. You've got like a big silo sort of factory looking building there, but your mill sale point is actually in here, which again is one of your main sale points again, but this one doesn't do potato, sugar beet or sugar cane, just does your standard cereal crops. So we'll head further on down and we'll cut across here and we'll go into sort of the forestry area, and I think that'll end the tour. You've got some quirky little touches here and there though. You've got a windmill over there to your right. The sails don't go round though. It's a bit of an odd edge to the map though, with those two different levels. So it's not this one, it's the next one I think. Yeah, I think we cut through here. You got a little bit of a trek to either of the sawmills if you're going to do a bit of forestry down here. This is quite cool here. Looks quite nice. You go across the old rickety bridge, across the stream, river, into the forestry area with the better looking, straighter trees that's going to earn you more money. And I think there's a little island. You got a few roads leading off here and there. There's a little island over there, which I don't think you can actually get to by... No. Just have to do a bit of swimming to get out there. There you go, that is the forestry area. And I think that is the map tour. So that was Agrar TSZ by Zoli708. I hope you've enjoyed this map tour. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, then please do, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any future videos of mine. I've been Farm Sim Snowy. Stay frosty.